So I hope that everyone spent their last day with some fulfillment. Some of y'all a lot of people probably stayed in, I feel like. Some people went out, I don't know. But yeah, here we are. We're continuing to do these shows where we ask each other questions, and it could be anything. It's not anything, nothing's off the table. And we're both on our journey, and we're both Geminis. That's why the title. Oh yeah, let's go back a little bit, Hallie. There we go. Okay.
Okay, who's going first this
Yes.
time?
I'm trying to remember if you asked me first or I asked you first.
Can't even remember last week or what the questions were. It was Christmas.
It was Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, do you remember sharing first?
I think I shared last.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But I'll ask you my question.
Okay.
Okay. So, in your process right now,
yes,
you are going through something that is requiring like a very like slow, patient progress.
Yes.
Very slow, patient progress.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, what is something else in your life that you've had to endure slow, patient progress in?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, say, like, you did that for a while, and then you saw, and then, you know, at some point there was, like, a lot of progress that had been made.
Mm-hmm.
But when you were doing it, it felt like, oh my gosh, this is such a long road.
I feel like you know exactly where you're getting at, perhaps. I don't know. But what's coming up for me is the process of working fully for myself. Yeah. Because, you know, when my brother was admitted to the hospital, I mean, it's like family support all on deck, you know, and usually what takes a back seat is my consistency in showing up with self-love content or my self-love business. And so, yeah, I've had to really be patient with that process. Because of my commitment to myself and continuing healing and bridging the gap with my family, because I know that that will give me peace. Yeah. So, yeah. Does that answer your question? You were asking about, you know, I am definitely enduring some slow progressions, right? We, of course, want to see my brother better and everything, and just given his current condition, it's going to be a very slow, long journey. Yeah, of progression. However, you know, it's like there's so much mystery. You know, it's like we have hope and like we're seeing him get better, and then also at the same time there's that mystery of like we don't know for sure 1,000% what's it going to look like. And so when you ask me what else have I been patient with too, or enduring patience with as well, with the process, like the first thing that came up was business, because it's like when your family needs you, it's like I'm not going to choose my business over my family, especially in times like this, you know. And you know, our meditation earlier this morning, where you're talking about unconditional self-devotion, I'm like, what am I going to devote to? And because I spent less time on my business, it's funny because I signed on 3 new clients this month.
Less is more, baby.
And it's always nothing like this, where it's just like I'm really focused on something that is fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like this month has been devastating, but at the same time, I am so glad that I've been able to show up so much in the ways that I am, and I'm doing everything in my power to feel at peace with this process too, you know, with my efforts of like being able to send healing energy to my brother, you know, seeing him every day. And so, yeah, it's actually helping me trust and be very patient with this journey of me working for myself full time.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's my ideal, having full ownership of my life, 100%, like, of my time, you know, so.
I'd love to ask you probably after this show, because we don't need to go into those details here, just more about what you have to achieve in your business in order to go full-time, like what you're you know, so that you have a place of like, okay, now I can go full-time versus it being kind of ambiguous.
Yes.
So yeah, we can.
Yeah, I told myself at least around, like, if I'm experiencing a consistent amount of clients, like, I told myself like 10 to like 20. 10 to 20. And I even mapped out like, okay, like what's the max clients I see a day
per week? 10 to 20 per week?
Yes, per week. Per week. Because I was like, okay, I'll have these hours during the day that I can see. And it was around 20.
So that's a big range, 10 to 20. So what's your, like, I can quit my job number?
20, probably 20.
20. The high end.
Yeah, the high end. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. Good to know.
Now I can hold that vision with you.
Oh, thank you.
More data of what that looks like.
Thank you. I mean, this year at the same time, I really got specific with that too, right? Like how much, and I hired on an accountability coach, so she really like asked me those questions. In my room, there's a whiteboard, and I literally put 20 slots, and I filled in the names, so just so I have that,
Whoa.
Yeah, and things can feel like it's on a roll, and then something happens, and it's funny because towards the end of the year, I just had a feeling it was going to happen again, where it's like I need the business takes a back seat. But it's very interesting. Like I'm so open to discovering what my business will grow with my devotion to keep the practices that I've added in because this month was so intense. And showing up when I can. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for your question. Oh, I know patience is a big thing with everybody.
What is?
Patience. You don't hear often that people are patient. Usually people are complaining about
something not happening fast enough.
Yes. Or like getting ticked out on the street when you're driving, road rage. That shows your patience right there. Anyways. Okay. So my question to you is two-part question. First one is, going into this year, given so much shedding and releasing that you have done, and really getting good at recognizing what's not working or recognizing just what's not in alignment or unsafe for your environment, what do you see? What is it that you will not put up with anymore? And why is that so loud?
Really good question.
Yeah.
I think what I will not put up with anymore is like people who aren't in their integrity. Meaning that their words and actions don't align.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Or they're just not like given much words, right? Like if I'm over here in like if I'm like guessing and like, I wonder why this person isn't talking to me, or I wonder what happened. Like if I'm like missing big chunks of information and I don't have an obvious understanding of like what went wrong, it means that something wasn't communicated.
Yes.
And I just need the people in my life to be communicative. All of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
So not putting up with not good communicators.
Not good communicators.
And people who are integrous, meaning like there's just not an alignment of their words and actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the main things.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
Like I think about this in the category of like bullshitters, I mean, people may not even mean to do that.
Yeah.
Because I know like I fit in that too, but it's like recognizing that and that's the journey. That would reveal the journey.
Exactly.
They would recognize that and they would improve on like self-honesty and self-accountability too.
Like I really want people in my life who value, who who value open and honest, transparent relationships. Yes. Oh my God, I need all of my relationships to like share that value. And if that's not a shared value, then it's like either, like you always say, they don't have space for that. It's like, okay, if you don't have space for that, then that's where alignment, because it's like a priority for me to make space for that in my life. So I want people who make space for healthy relationship and not, you don't have space for healthy relationship, then we can't be in a relationship. Yes, you're a great person, and you have all the qualities, and you're a beautiful soul, right? It's like if you don't have space for healthy relationship, then we good. Yeah, that, I would say that reveals so much. Just seeing where people are at and what they don't have the space for. Yeah. So that's because our space is up to us. That's the thing. There's often times where like flooding up the space with shit that doesn't matter, that doesn't serve us, that doesn't grow us, that doesn't support us, right? We're plugging up space with, and then we're blocking the space that we have for love. And yeah, so I'm just really about like that spacious life. Like having space, cultivating space on the daily basis so that you have space for connection, for intimacy, for truth, for honesty, for vulnerability, for, just being.
Seriously. Wow. Yeah, that sounds very clear. It almost sounds like, if you're not on the journey of like self-love and creating space.
You're not on the journey of self-love and creating space.
So, you're not going to put up with anything outside of that because it's not leading to that connection that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That fulfilling, spacious, consistent, communicative, integrous connection.
Exactly. Yeah, and like we always say, like, these things show up really quickly. They show up real quick.
Yeah.
Get to know someone, and it takes time for like someone to reveal themselves to you, but not that much time.
Yeah, no, I love that you're highlighting.
Yeah,
like I can go on a week and learn so much about them because of how open and vulnerable and transparent that they're willing to be, like right from the start.
Totally.
Which shows like self-ownership and like self-worth. And obviously they've been through the journey to be able to be that transparent. Because it's scary to be transparent, right?
Yeah.
There's pain covering up from you showing up as yourself. There's like a curtain. Like we have masks on, so.
Yeah, and I think what I've noticed is that people who were loved really well in their lives and like in their childhoods have an easier time of just like presenting their vulnerable selves because they have self-acceptance because they were loved really well. And then people who have like a lot of abandonment wounding and that type of trauma that hasn't been dealt with, vulnerability is like really scary for them because they're so afraid of being left. And so it's like, for those of us who have those deeper abandonment wounds, like we have to prioritize our self-healing or else we're never going to let anyone in.
Exactly.
We're never going to let ourselves be seen. We're never going to let ourselves like actually like invite like a loving relationship into our lives. So again, like people on the healing journey,
right,
is like top priority for sure. And especially like I think that it's also so impressive when I'm like self-nurturing right now during this. During like for the masculine, like for the men to be taking on the healing journey, because it's like it comes a little bit more naturally for women to do that. There's more support societally, for us to like be in our healing and be in our expression and talk to each other. And men don't have that same